Hey guys, welcome back. I am Jason Salyer, and there are lots of reasons why you may want to carry an ifak or an individual first aid kit such as this one, other than just the shootout at the OK Corral. Alright, so before we dive into this thing, first of all, I am not a doctor, I'm not a medic, I'm not a professional rescuer really of any kind. I am an amateur superhero. So, just for the record right there. However, I do have a little bit of medical training. I've got some first aid training. I've got CPR. I've got first aid and CPR for the professional rescuer when I used to be a lifeguard back when I was in college. I've recently done some wilderness first aid training that dealt with some pretty severe trauma kind of scenarios and how to work with minimal kit in austere conditions. And I know how to use all of the items in this kit, and I think that that's important. If you're going to have a kit, you should know how to use all of the items in it. Doesn't mean you need to be a professional, but you should at least have a basic understanding of the ins and outs of how they work so you can actually apply them when needed. However, with that said, just because you don't necessarily know how the specifics on how to, let's say, insert a NPA, nasopharyngeal airway, just because you're not an expert at that doesn't mean that somebody with you won't know how to do that. So it's not a bad idea to carry the equipment even if you don't know how to use it necessarily, because there might be a doctor on site ready to go at that traffic accident or whatever it is, whatever the situation may be. But anyway, this is the kit that I have reached out to Refuge Medical, Bear Independent, and they have graciously sent this to me. This one is called the SOB. It's a very small, compact kit, and it's got all of kind of the essentials in there. You can take it out of this larger package like this, and this fits in my cargo pocket very easily. It's a little bit bulky, yes, I get it, but it will give me some really solid capabilities as far as life-saving equipment. Could you live with yourself if it was a close family member or a friend that was injured, needed your help, was in desperate need, was bleeding out, and you could have had the tool to do the job, but you just chose not to carry it? I don't know. That's something that I've been battling with. I mean, how much crap can you fit in your pockets, and how much stuff do you want to carry on a regular basis? That's your call, but I'm upping my game. And specifically why I reached out to them and asked for this one is because I'm going to be doing 1,000 miles, a little over 1,000 miles in Baja, Mexico, riding basically the enduro race course, not the race, but I'm doing the course. And we're going to be in some pretty remote locations and we're going to have to be really, really self-reliant. And because I have a little bit of training, I've taken it upon myself to bring the necessary equipment needed if we should, somebody should go down and have a really serious issue. But anyway, let's look at this kit and see what we have going on in here. It's small. It's basically just the basics to help save somebody's life if they should happen to be bleeding out for the most part. And on the bottom is a tourniquet. I'm going to mess with this a little bit. It's got kind of a bungee system on here. I'm going to figure out maybe a better way to carry that. I don't know, but this thing is ready to rock if I should need it. It's pretty quick access. And this is a cat tourniquet, very reliable. I think it's 1.5 inches wide, which I have been told by people that I've taken courses with and stuff is kind of the minimum of what you want for an adult individual. So 1.5 inches wide tourniquet, cat tourniquet is what we've got there. Right on top, to go along with that tourniquet, we've got a Sharpie to write down the time that we applied that tourniquet. And then this is probably won't have too many issues with something like this, but you never know on a motorcycle trip or something like that. But this is gunshot wounds. We've got chest seals here. This is 2 twin pack chest seals right here, ready to rock. An NPA, if you're having trouble getting an airway, and it comes with the gel, the lubricant, to make sure you can insert it a little bit easier. A pair of gloves, just because you want to protect yourself. The individual that you're working with may have something that you don't want to catch, and you don't want to be hesitant just because of that. If you've got a pair of gloves, you can protect yourself at least a little bit. So there's that. We've got a 4-inch ETD, emergency trauma dressing. This is the one that kind of has an elasticity to it. Will wrap around the bandage, and it has little clasps on it that will hold it in place. Let's see what else we hear. We have some combat gauze that has quick clot in it, so it will help to stop any bleeding if you pack this in the wound, because it's got that quick clot additive in it. Some compressed gauze in this little package, and this is kind of like, it's folded up in like the accordion fashion, and I never really even thought of it. I always carry the rolled gauze. This is easier to pack into wounds, and the guys at Refuge Medical do a really good job of demonstrating that and offer some really amazing courses as well. And I'll put links in the description of this video, but and they'll teach you how to use this stuff a little bit more effectively. But it just less fumbling, less tangling with rolled gauze. This is really easy to apply. Just some sterile wipes here, some alcohol prep pads or wipes there, and then some duct tape to hold some dressings and stuff in place, or whatever you should need duct tape for. And that's kind of the extent of this small kit. And again, it can do what I am trained to do, the limit of my abilities. I can use all of this stuff effectively. And if there is a life-threatening injury that has occurred, and there's something I can do about it. Sometimes there isn't anything you can do about it, but if there's something I can do to solve that problem, this will most likely take care of it. And that's why I've chosen to bring this SOB kit from Refuge Medical on my big adventure ride in Baja. Now they do sell all kinds of different kits, from like giant, huge buckets and stuff. And then this one, I forget the name of this one. I'll put it in the description as well. But this is a larger kit that has additional items such as shears. If you need to cut clothing off, that's something I might try to cram in this little pack. I don't know. There's again, more bandages, all kinds of just additional stuff in this larger kit. But if you're talking about limited on space, and if you're talking about, it's kind of like, what's the best survival knife? Well, the best survival knife is the one that you have on you, right? You're not going to carry this great big Bowie knife every day. And if you get into a survival situation, chances are you're going to be a little bit unprepared, and you're going to have the pocket knife that you have on you. So that's the best survival knife, the one that you can carry. I'm not going to be carrying this on my person. All right, I can carry this smaller one on my person. I'm going to keep this one in my truck, maybe around the house, that kind of stuff, to deal with major issues. Definitely a good one to keep in the vehicle, and that's where I've had this one stowed actually. But the best trauma kit, the best ifak is the one that you can carry on your person all the time. And if all you have room for in your lifestyle and the clothes that you wear is maybe just this, then that's a good call. Take that with you, because again, the majority of issues that you're going to come across that you can actually do something about that are life-threatening, this can probably solve it, this cat tourniquet right here. So anyway, great dudes at Refuge Medical, really solid guys. They were gracious enough to send me this kit for review. And I'm really, really grateful for that. I actually worked out with these guys in the parking lot of a hotel, which was fun. I really enjoyed it. JA, one of their guys, led a workout for us, and it was really enjoyable. Just super good dudes. You can tell, at least I can. I can tell upon meeting somebody in the first 30 seconds of conversation, whether that's a good quality person, someone that you can kind of trust, someone that you can see yourself being friends with really quick. In the first 30 seconds, I can usually determine that. And I tell you what, all of the guys that I met from Refuge Medical, Bear Independent, solid dudes. And they put some really, really quality kits together, and you guys should definitely check them out. Anyway, I'm Jason Salyer. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you next time.